good, guys? Welcome back to Everyday Struggle with Nadeska Ueno and Academics. It's been a lot of protests worldwide still this weekend. The momentum is still going strong. How are you guys feeling today?
I'm feeling good. I think I wish I could have got out to protest this weekend, but I didn't. So, I've been very encouraged by just people continuing the movement going on, which I support. So, listen, protesting is one of the rights that I feel people have to hold sacred, and I'm gonna join in at some point.
Yeah, I'm feeling good too. This weekend, I didn't make it to protest, but I made it to go see my grandmother. I hadn't seen my grandmother in a bit with everything that's been going on, so I went and spent some time with her, watched some TV, talk some smack. That was a good feeling. So got to spend some real good family time this weekend with everything that's going on.
Is it allergy
really
season yet?
as well.
Is it allergy season yet? Because my eyes have been puffy. Like, I've been sneezing a lot. I don't know if I got the COVID or maybe just regular allergies, man.
Stop it,
I don't know if I should get Benadryl or I need to go get like one of them tests where they stick it out your nose. I don't know, man.
It's definitely allergy season, but don't get Benadryl because that shit just does nothing but put you to sleep. Get some Zyrtec. Stay away.
I'm gonna get whoever put out a statement supporting Black Lives Matter, all right? Because that's a new thing.
Yeah, he's stupid,
if you really had allergies, you probably should know that the pollen's been crazy. But anyway, I guess let's get into the show. So there were a couple memorial services for George Floyd over the past few days. His GoFundMe has received a ton of donations, which is amazing. According to TMZ, apparently over 500,000 people have donated over $13 million and counting, which is really great. That means his family's taken care of. And like I said, we did see more protests across the globe over the weekend. Kendrick Lamar was out there, Kanye, Lil Baby, and other artists, and Kanye apparently donated $2 million to the families and the legal teams representing victims like Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and George Floyd. But now the big cry is for cities to defund police. So we've heard Chance the Rapper was tweeting about this a lot over the weekend. And on the more radical end of the spectrum, some people want to completely dismantle police departments, but I think we should just start with defunding police, which really means taking away a lot of the money that goes to those police departments and putting that money back into other things in the community, especially like communities that are marginalized. So things like mental health and healthcare and after school activities, things that would actually help the community. So what do you guys think?
You want to go first, Wado?
No, I want to hear what you think.
Well, I think I probably have a very different opinion than what I see the majority is. I actually think this is a horrible idea.
And you're talking about defunding, right? Not dismantling, because those are a little bit different.
Yeah, no, I think both are just horrible ideas, truth be told. So, this is what I think, right? I get what the position we're in. I get also the thought of how police treat African Americans and just minorities as a whole. I don't think defunding the police solves the issue. Are we trying to solve the issue, or like what are we trying to do? Like I'm trying to get with the movement and with the like. Okay, let's do this. Let's get the officers charged. Great, cool, whatever, right? But and also the problem we have to address is that the police fear Black people. I think it makes the situation worse by defunding police. This is why. If say the police force in any town, I don't know, say it's 1,000. Now you cut it down to 250. If you think they're not going to be quicker to use lethal force when it's less police, you must be out of your damn mind. None of that cures the fear, and if we're also saying that racism goes into playing a part in how police handle Black men, why don't you think they will use lethal force even quicker when it's not 4 cops getting trying to arrest like George Floyd, it's 2 or 1. Yeah, now they're quick with the gun. You get me? So again, I'm not a big fan of that. I am for funds being, redistributed to help the community. I just don't know if because right now we ain't fucking with the cops, we're just saying this is the best place that we should take the money from to put back into the community. I feel like we can look at the budget a lot different.
I think see, the thing about defunding the police, it's not specifically just dealing with the situation of police killing people, right? Now, for me, defunding the police, you know how much overtime they get And a lot of that overtime gets spent when they have to just do shit. Like they just have to make up. They have to hit quotas with arrests. Did you ever see the thing with all of those police that went on the news and they were saying about basically how the job works and how they put out there to hunt black and brown people, like on a monthly basis, because they're okay to get certain types of overtime and shit. They just got to go up there and lock people up for pissing in the street or lock people up for doing damn near nothing as opposed to really doing shit against crime. Also, when it comes to the police, you know how militarized the police are? Like, they spend millions upon millions of dollars every year for police to have tanks and all these high-powered weapons to do nothing but fight protesters with. They don't use none of them tanks or nothing on a regular day. They don't use that shit for anything.
They shouldn't have it at all. It's like military level equipment to deal with civilians. And to your point, so Ak, is a lot of money wasted on, like Wayno was saying, it's like low level crime, like just targeting people. I think they did a study, what do they call it, proactive policing, where the NYPD pulled back on doing that for a period of time, and like the crime rate actually dropped because they're harassing people for small violations like smoking weed and ridiculous things like that, which will land you in prison.
For nothing.
I hear what Wayno was saying. I feel like that could be addressed. So you're saying that there's quotas, this and third, which I agree 100%. These are factual things. I just don't think that, just defunding them fixes any problem. I feel like, if you run into a cop, I'm just thinking overall, man. I feel like it's going to be worse when they know that they aren't in the position or they aren't equipped as how they're equipped now. I'm not asking for like a budget increase. I'm just saying whatever it is now, why are we going like what data do we really have, like qualitative data, other than the fact that of course, and in any situation there's going to be racists on as police. Why are we just defunding the whole system, which police are meant to protect people, bro?
Well, I'm wait a second, Ak. See, now
if it was something else meant to root out the bad cops, I'm with it. Let's find out a way to root out the bad cops. If it was like, these are initiatives that cops could hold other cops accountable. I'm with it. But just to say, let's dismantle the police force, I'm like...
No, not dismantle.
I said those are two different things.
So can I add something?
Well, that's extreme. That's extreme.
Ak, let me add something. So I come from the inner city. I come from the hood. There's more than enough police in the hood. The thing about...
What hood?
Huh?
Maybe you're talking about New York City. New York City has an overwhelming
New York City, but not
just
just New York City. Now, what's one of the biggest things that we talk about the youth, right? They ain't got this to do, or they don't have that to do. They don't have all these different things going on. So if some of that funding can be taken away from, like I just said, militarizing the police, for them to use nothing but these weapons for times like now, and putting that into more programs how there used to be. How when I grew up, we had PAL, we had more PALs, police athletic leagues, where it was a center where kids had shit to do after school. So it's keeping them out of trouble, or more programs where kids don't always have the money. A lot of people don't have money to put their kids in camp and shit. We need more programs within these neighborhoods that can keep these kids busy.
So how and this is like, why does that just automatic? Like, if you notice how much shit we actually even spend money on, like as a taxpayer, you would be surprised like how much money the government gets and what their budget is, whether it's to fix roads or just for recreation and they misuse many budgets. I'm just saying we are like this is turned into let's target everything with the police, right? My thing is, I'm just saying, use the money. Like, I completely agree with you with the militarized shit. Yeah, like, to keep it real, they start rolling out certain vehicles. You're like, who y'all trying to get? I agree with you. My thing is that when you start cutting the budgets, that's when you're going to get even more poorly trained cops, right? You're going to probably get, in some situations, less cops. And also, you're going to get a police force that's even stretched. They're going to be exasperated because they're stretched even thinner. My thing is, use... all that stuff with the heavily militarized shit that they're buying, let's put it into training and identifying.
I mean, of course, this money's gonna go into training, but at the same time, like,
but I feel if you
want to teach people lessons, you got to fuck with their money. If you look at the root of every war, the root of most problems in this country around the world, it revolves around money. So if I'm just saying, like, if we're defunding the police, nobody said that they weren't gonna put money into these programs to better train police or not. Everything's happening in real time, so we have yet to even see what's gonna happen. But I think that yeah, we do need to take a lot of that money away because at the end of the day, bro, they getting paid to do the shit that they do. They getting paid all the bullshit that's happening. Yo, all these cops, all these people, unarmed people that you see get killed, unarmed people that get their ass whooped, people get police called on them for nothing but playing with water in the street. They're getting paid for all of this shit. If we start taking away, well, not we, I'm not one of those people, but if they start taking away money and allocations of money for some of the shit that they're just sitting around doing nothing and putting it into the shit that's gonna retrain them and help them unlearn and relearn shit, then I'm all for that.
Yeah, for me, like, and as you said, like, yo, listen, you gotta teach somebody a lesson. I feel like the only people who will be getting a lesson taught is us. So that's why I'm not for cutting off your nose to spite your face, right? Like, for example, you know what, what's gonna happen. And by the way, at least I'm not gonna be the person who said like, yo, just like cops are inherently bad now. There's bad cops. But you know what? What this type of like, us versus the cops mentality does? It's the same thing we've seen recently in like Chicago. There's actually a situation that and by the way, again, I'm a little scatterbrained, but I'm sorry. Somebody breaking my house, I'm calling the cops. That's definitely true. Okay, like I don't know where everybody else is acting like the cops is not. No, they're definitely civil servants that's supposed to protect the people. I'm definitely calling the cops. So this whole like
let me ask you a question.
I'm not.
Wait, real quick, academics. Let me ask you a question. You what? 28, 29 years old? How old are you?
Yeah.
Have you ever have the police ever did some real bullshit to you other than a traffic stop or something?
Absolutely.
Violated you?
New York City illegally searched my car. I've never felt.
All right, illegally search your car.
Yes.
I get that, right? My nigga, since I've been 12 years old, I've been stopped by the police. Since I was 12, I'm talking about I done had these niggas grab me, slam me on the wall, throw me on the floor, do all types of shit, to the point where one time my mother had to jump in front of 15 cops because a cop told me to go upstairs and I didn't want to. Had to jump in front of them so they didn't do something to me. Just off of a disagreement. So wait a second. And so the thing about the cops. So listen. I hear you. It's not just we just against the cops. We against all police? No. You know what I'm against? I'm against police that don't check the fucking police that's around them.
So let's focus on that.
Wait a second. But how are we not though? How are we not focusing on that? How are we not focusing on that?
I feel like when you say let's just defund the police, and again.
Guys.
In other situations, people say let's just dismantle it. You're not really
getting dismantle police. That's never gonna happen.
Okay, I feel like we probably should come back to this conversation with a little bit more facts. You're both, I understand the points that you're making. Like I think you're like really focusing on the word defund, like we're trying to suck all of the money out of the police departments across the country. That's not the case. It's about reallocating the budget, so it's a little bit more fair, right? It's like I don't know how the pie is split up, but they shouldn't have 90% of the budget and housing gets 10% and after school programs get 5%. But let's get back to this because this is going to keep.
And when we do get back to it, I want us to be completely armed with the facts because these days social media is the fastest spreader of like, I won't say like either fake news or whatever it is, but like you only are focused on one thing. They shift the narrative. Mm-hmm. I want to see what every budget is. Like if you realize what sometimes government spend money on, I just don't think that the first thing that we're cutting is police. I'm sorry. They spend money and waste money on mad other shit.
They're not now again. If you're acting like they throwing the police in the garbage, that's not what they're doing. That's not what it's about. That's not what it is.
Reallocating budgets. Let's come back to this with some more facts. I understand what you guys are saying, but I don't know that just throwing more cops on the streets like really is the answer.
No, not more. So not more. I'm just saying let's not do less.
Yeah, let's bring it back to music before we go because we're almost out of time already, unfortunately. So now we talked about all these labels like putting up their money. I think Sony Music recently announced that they're going to start a $100 million fund to also help support social justice. Now on Friday, Republic Records announced plans to ban the word urban from their company verbiage. So they're saying that they're going to remove it from department names, employee titles, music genres. They say, we encourage the rest of the music industry to follow suit as it is important to shape the future of what we want it to look like and not adhere to the outdated structures of the past. So just to give you guys an example, if you remember when Tyler, the Creator, won Best Rap Album for Igor at the Grammys last year, which a lot of people felt should have been the Album of the Year award, he said, it sucks that whenever we, and I mean guys that look like me, do anything that's genre bending, they always put it in a rap or urban category. I don't like that urban word. It's just a politically correct way to say the N word to me. What do you guys think of this move?
I particularly feel that, while a lot of people, they're really impressed on, or they're actually pressed on, yo, you put out a statement and donate, like, doesn't really mean these entities ain't racist. Like, to keep it real, if we really want to get into the music business, these motherfuckers who even donating money, they got some fucked up systems in their own companies. But it's easy right now to just put out a statement, we stand with y'all, here's some money, take the blame. Because right now, anybody who doesn't do that, right, look at the CrossFit CEO, you're getting hammered, your business is done. I'm glad that Republic did this. When Republic announced that they're like, I don't care about the money, everybody salute to Sony, salute to Warner, they donated $100 million each, but this urban thing, I'm wondering how well are they gonna follow it, and I'm wondering who else is gonna adopt it, because we've seen Tyrese, we've seen many other entertainers say, hey, listen, when they don't want to push out records on pop stations, they call that shit urban. You get me? They have all type of different, colloquials to basically call it, that's not pop, right? So I'm glad that they abolished using that term, but I want to ask Republic this, right? So when you get a record from a African-American artist, are you going to work it like it's a pop record if it's pop sounding? Or you're going to look at like, he's black, his audience is cool. Maybe you don't use the word urban anymore publicly, but are you going to work it the same way? Because removing the word but acting the same does nothing. You get me? That's like just giving me a little sticker, but you're doing the same bullshit. So again, I'm wondering how that's gonna play out in terms of radio. If you're gonna push and I'm getting a little bit deep here, but if you're gonna push a record on pop radio, you're gonna need a certain type of budget. Now it's easier if you're just gonna say I'm servicing the Hot 97s and the Power 105s because this record is urban. So I'm wondering how this plays out beyond just like, we feel this term might be offensive or is segregatory, so let us stop using it. Let's see if they'll put actions behind those words.
Yeah, I mean, like, I was really happy when Tyler said what he said, because again, me and you both agreed that album, he wasn't going for rap with that album. He was trying to put himself in a different conversation, and I think that was like a really strong stance from him. The only thing I don't like about everything that's happening is, why did it take another black man to die for everybody to really start looking at all the shit that they morally do wrong? And it's been so many, and not just black men, but black women. We're not gonna forget about the Breonna Taylors, of the world. It's so many people who have, given their life for everybody to really just say, hey, maybe what we were doing was wrong, and now they're checking everything that they do. And I feel like, the reason why, like Ax said, if you don't, you're just gonna get called out. So a lot of people are just protecting their investments end of the day. Like if they don't, even with the word urban, they just gonna turn it into something else. Like I would like to just see more change action more than words. Like the words is cool and all that, but I want to see more change action. Even when it come down the way how deals are structured. A lot of these deals are structured, a lot of those deals are structured based on leverage, but beyond the leverage, that a person's art is their livelihood, and I think that they got to start they got to stop ripping apart people's art just for financial gain. Yeah, you want to do business with people, but it got to be a little bit more on the fair side. So I want to see more change action than just saying that we're going to stop using certain words.
Yeah, just even piggyback off what Wayno said. Like, let's just imagine, this is for like the audience listening, right? Imagine like I'm a big company, Wayno is like talent or whatever. And at first, I just refer to Wayno as my slave. Okay, that's now outdated. Fine. I now refer to him as my employee. Here's the thing. Whether I call him a slave employee or a partner, and say partner is the updated, like, hey, we love this type of term, he's still getting like 3% of everything. So whether I call him, don't matter what I call him, he's getting 3%. Does it really matter what the fuck you're called? Like, I guess in terms of what's politically correct, but motherfucker, if you really respect me, how about you update some goddamn terms of how we do business, right?
Listen, I tell you, nothing shows you what a person thinks about you other than black and white. Seeing that shit on paper shows you what a person thinks about you.
Well, let's see. Now that the ball is rolling, let's see what other companies follow suit. If the Grammy makes any changes, how that goes. I guess we're gonna save the NFL for tomorrow. They've had a little bit of a change of heart, but we gotta go. Yeah, guys. Any final thoughts? Quickly, 30 seconds. Zach, go.
No, let me go first.
My final thoughts is everybody leave YG the fuck alone. I don't see no problem with him making a song called "Fuck the Police" while the world is screaming "Fuck the Police." So leave YG the fuck alone. Let him do his thing.
I didn't know there was people feeling a way about YG. I'll piggyback my final thoughts is your final thought. Like honestly, like hey, YG made a song called "Fuck Donald Trump." If he makes a song called "Fuck the Police," which is like these have been like and to even address your point too, that's we're at a saturation point. Unfortunately, it took for Breonna Taylor, it took for George Floyd and others to have passed away or really die at the hands of murderers recently, but we're at the saturation point and people are just fed up, yo. So like, I'm not mad at YG doing some shit he's been doing. You feel me? Like we gotta stop. Everybody get mad and self-righteous. I ain't mad at you if you're doing some shit you always been doing. Now, if you never did it now I gotta look at you. Like Killer Mike moved up his album. Like he was one of the only albums that dropped last week. Killer Mike been on code this whole time. Okay? He's making music specific to the struggle. If you're mad at that means you haven't been in tune, or you're just looking to be a part of the outrage machine.
All right, thank you guys.
Good thoughts, Zach.
Nice closing thoughts for once. Guys, thank you for watching Everyday Struggle. We're going to be back here tomorrow on Complex.